everybody. We're back. Hope you had a nice glass of water, a nice coffee. Again, we are live and streaming to attendees that are across the world. Welcome again. You folks are from US, you are from France, you are from Argentina, Brazil, Peru, Canada, US, and elsewhere. So please be welcome. It's an honor and it's a great pleasure to be with you. My name is Gis Nato, Chief Evangelist of the Community of Best Practice iBrain. So we're going to go to the other panel that this time we're going to talk to our panelist, that is Sébastien Matouret. Bonjour Sébastien, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Pretty good. Thank you very much. From Rio de Janeiro, I cannot feel bad. I mean, the sunshine is there. I see the ocean, by the way, in this window. Hello, François. Hello again, VP of Application Product and Service at Promutuel Insurance. How are you?
Very fine. Very fine.
Excellent. So you folks are from Quebec, Canada, east side of Canada. So I hope you're doing fantastic with your Guidewire project, but we're going to tackle together another subject that is more likely that you folks have successfully implemented a distant development center of Guidewire specialists for reasons that you're going to describe later on. And in this experience, I would like to ask you, François, at first, if I may, what are the necessary ingredients for establishing a solid remote strategy orientation?
Yes, we don't have a long history of offshoring work, for sure. It was our first steps with iBrain. But we have taken, I think, a different approach by directly integrating the offshore workers into our teams. It's quite different than what we would have done normally to delegate a specific work to the team member. The approach allows us for more seamless integration and collaboration between everybody. So this is the main and first ingredient: communication and integration of the team members.
I understand.
Another one will be the strong business culture that we have, that is open, trustworthy, and we want the teams to feel like a big family. And our leadership embodies this culture, as Sébastien is with us right now.
And he's a guy from France.
Absolutely. And the third ingredient will be...
And he migrated. Yes. Excuse me, François. I just wanted to say that Sébastien migrated from France to Quebec, so he have lived it. Excuse me.
Yep. And he knows that Quebec is a really great place, even if sometimes it's cold. And
good point.
So the third ingredient that I will add will be the right tooling sets and processes in place to facilitate the security, the collaboration between the team's member. The remote worker, it should be seamless as they were working in the office. And those will be the three ingredients that the remote strategy for us have been successful so far.
So in those three ingredients, what would be for you the most important?
The first one, the integration of the team member. Surely, absolutely. Because we are dealing with people. We are humans, everybody. The code is still done by humans and not a machine yet. So it's important to have a strong teams all working together.
And Sébastien, on that aspect, would you agree that this is the main ingredient of the three?
Absolutely. Even though before that, the human aspect is the key of every company. You know,
Totally.
what we are talking, the struggle we have now is finding people, no matter the job, no
Yeah.
matter it's not in IT, but in every aspects of the company, we need to keep our people. So the human
Yeah.
part is the key factor. So integrating the people, their experience when they enter a new company is the key factor. If you have you don't have access, you don't have any people guiding you when it's your first days, it's such a bad experience that you keep
Totally.
that in mind and you may be able to leave the company. So that's why it's a really important aspect.
Yeah, because I mean, doing the screening to find the good candidates, to have a talent pool. I mean, when you have the person that you choose, you what is fundamental of what I hear about your point of view is that you need to onboard them, and to make sure that you coach them, and you take them by the hand because it's a new family. Imagine yourself finding yourself in you're X years old and you find yourself in a new, total different environment and cultural too, right? This is what you're saying about the onboarding, right?
Absolutely. When I see your tool, I was looking at Daniela's presentation and I was thinking to myself, it's a wonderful tool because it's you can find the right people based on their skills, based on that. But after that, that's where I jump in, and my role
Yeah,
after we
yeah,
find the right people is how to onboard them, how to make them want to stay, how to make them happy to work for us. So you see, it's
yeah,
not only finding the right people with the right qualification, how to have the people
totally.
integrated in the company.
Yeah, yeah, and this brings me to maybe the second question. You know, is that what are the steps that you took to successfully implement the localized work model? You know, what are the steps that you took?
So I won't surprise you if I say that security was at first the main concern. I'm sure
Yeah,
everyone can relate to this concern. So obviously
yeah,
we had to make sure this concern was addressed beforehand. And how we did that, I would say that in that example, we discussed with you, people of iBrain, to how we can implement remote or workforce. And for our example, for our experience, conclusion was to build a team in a WeWork. So WeWork, or the concept of the dedicated workspace, where you have different level of security, either physical or
yeah,
digital, with reliable internet connection, firewalls,
yeah.
the right tools. So that was the option that could secure our concern, secure the security. So
Totally. To make them confident enough to say you have the green light, for example.
absolutely. You know, security is, and you can see the news. There are many examples, and you know that there are a lot of breaches of security. You know, there are a lot of patches in different applications, Microsoft's. So we know it's a sensible subject. So that's why when you go abroad, you don't know. It's like dark because you
Yeah,
don't know how it
yeah,
works. You don't have the knowledge. And even in Canada, we don't have the
mm,
knowledge of everyone. If you work from home, we don't have that knowledge. So we have to be reassured. We have to feel confident when we have
yeah.
people work on our systems abroad. So that's why we had to find a way that we could secure the accesses and make everyone comfortable. And the concept of this kind of workspace was very sufficient for us.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
I mean, we've been here in Latin America, at least for myself, for 7 years. So I mean, what I hear is that it's a question of trust. I mean, to have the environment is one thing, but as we experience, to have the person or the managers of your partner is also an element that is part of the security, right, and the trust.
Absolutely. That's why I totally agree with what Francois said, and not because Francois is my boss, but I do agree with him about the trust. Uh, we're even though Promutuel has over 2,000 people, the IT and the teams in the IT department are like family. We know each other. It's not like we are numbers. We are people, and we work with the people we like and we like working with. So you have to put something in place for that. It's not
Yeah.
magically that you will have that kind of relationships with people, and that's why it's the second step. I would say we had to implement. It's integration, so the onboarding of the resource. So
Yeah.
we have had for the last couple of years, for the reasons we all know, we have been working remotely, and Promutual is no
Yeah.
different than any other company. So at start we were only in Quebec City, and because we are located in Quebec City, the IT department, and then we had people working from Montreal, which is a city 3 hours away from Quebec, or some other city in the province. But what we see is that if you are in Montreal, or if you are in Lima, or if you're in Rio, we face the same challenges. No,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
what we face is that the people, they feel disconnected because they don't see
Yeah.
too many times, they don't see in person necessarily their colleagues. So how you can connect the people not only by Zoom, Teams, or any other communication tool, how you make them uh, related to your company. So the main concern
Yeah.
that we have, so that's why the onboarding process, which is not only at the start, but you have to make that process live throughout the days of the people, after 1 year, 2 years, etc.
Yeah.
You have to focus on that. So how to foster a strong company culture with our people is communication first, and any
Yeah.
opportunities that we have for collaboration is used. So that's the key, integration of the people, and we communicate a lot. So that obviously we have team meetings, but we also have one-on-ones, because even for people who are consultants, we have one-on-ones. We don't make a difference between internal employee consultants. What we want is know the people, what you want
Yeah.
to be in 1 year, how we can help you evolve, even though you're on a contract base. How can we help you develop your career? So that's what we do with our
Yeah.
people, and that's what we makes us onboard the people and have them stay with Promutual, and feel feel that
Totally.
they can evolve in their career.
Yeah, and this is why iBrain had developed the Guidewire Academy, where we are offering all the developers to upscale, their level of knowledge and consequently certification, that are the new cloud certification obligation, to so so this is interesting because I mean, to offer your folks that are employees or collaborators as consultants, you're offering them to evolve and to develop. So this is quite, a good way to make them feel part of the family, and also to make them be part progressively about, in the culture of Promutuel. And what is interesting, Sebastien, is that you said once that, what's interesting with this kind of standardization of the Guidewire certification is that hiring, and there's a shortage of qualified developers, because you said with Francois that to a certain point there was no, let's say, quality or experienced developers available. And so this is one of the reasons that brought you to look abroad. But this certification is kind of giving you a better level of confidence to hire people abroad, right?
It's true. It's really helpful, actually. and training would be the third step in our journey. But the training and the qualification of the people is a key. You know, I come from France, as you mentioned it. So if I talk about my experience in France, if I talk about the tools I've used, the companies, nobody knows them here. They don't know anything about those companies because I haven't been working for international companies. So when I came to Quebec in 2009, and when I was talking about my experience, I had to be to try to convince the people. Yeah, I have value, I have experience, but they didn't know. Now, when I look at the Guidewire certification, if you pass a certification in Peru, if you pass a certification in India, if you pass a certification in Canada, it's the same. So you have the same level.
Totally.
So you have quite a standard with Guidewire certifications and no training. So the use of the Guidewire suite is the same in Argentina or in Quebec City. So that's why
Yeah.
it's easier for us to integrate people, because we know that when they pass the certification, it's the same as the people I've got here in the office. Exactly. So
Totally.
that's
Totally.
a
So
very good
those
thing for us.
Yes, and
totally.
those
So
certification are not those certification are not easy to achieve and to grasp. They are, you know, that when a person achieves the ACE certification, that he is a lead. He has everything that he
yeah.
needs to be a lead in a team. So right now, this is what we saw early on with the new certification that Guidewire provides.
That's great. So it's giving you folks more confident that this level of knowledge, where they have those badges, that it's giving you a certain guarantee. I mean, humans are humans and behavior are behavior, but skill set and being able to deliver pieces of the project can be more guaranteed. And this level of confidence and trust that you have, at least on this third element, is giving you a little bit more, let's say, a better interest to go forward with this distant development centers, right?
Yes. What I would add, in this would be the last step. You know, yeah, we can onboard people. Yes, they have the right training. Yes, they know the culture of Promutuel, but there is still an aspect that we like, is the local partnership we have with the people abroad. We like
Yeah.
the idea of having a partner such as iBrain being close to the people, or having a couple of people working in an office, for example, in Lima, and having a group of people, having one of them which will be more dedicated to socialization, no? Like the team
Yeah.
lead or the scrum master, or whatever you can call it, depending on your function. And that's very important to sometimes, you know, the socialization part of our job. You know,
Yeah.
it's not me who said that, but you probably need to know the quote. Work is a very serious matter, but that's why we need to have pleasure doing it. So we believe in that. So
Yeah.
that's why, having someone who can be of local support is a key to ourselves. We would like to have people come very regularly to our office, but it's quite expensive and quite longer way from Peru or Rio to come very often. So that's why sometimes having people there uh, to help them, help us be closer to our employees abroad, it's a very good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in this context, at least with our project, is that, there's a kind of a all the way around. We are the management base in Latam. We are based in Rio for 7 years. We have this office in Lima. We have this office in Argentina. So it's like Quebecers and Canadians are here, but in the other way, we have a team leader that arrive at Promutuel that is from Latin America. So he's able to bring, the aspect that you're talking about. He's there to communicate and bring the vibe, integrate the others that will come along. That's interesting. And if we look at what are the benefits of establishing a mixed model, because in your case, there's you are Promutuel pro Canada, more likely pro Quebec. You were born in. You've been funded 180 years ago around. That's a long time, and so your roots are really like local, nationally in Quebec. So the mixed approach. What are the benefits? Because people can start 3 to 6 to 1 year being abroad, and progressively they come on board. So what are the benefits of establishing a mixed model where developers start remotely?
To start with, I would say that change management is the crucial step and the key to successfully integrate new workers. For instance, by having developers start working from their home country, we let them focus on our enterprise culture, our systems, get to know their colleagues, etc. We are in Quebec, and it's not only Canada; it's French speaking. So if we had to say to someone, okay, change of country, change of employer, and come to Promutuel to Canada in Quebec City. So you have to adapt to a new country. And if people don't know here, it's very sunny during the summer, but during the winter, um, you get to like the snow, and you get
You
very
don't
hot
have any
weather.
choice.
So you don't have any choice, and it's funny because we had someone from Peru, from my brand, who came. We have a couple of them who came to Canada, and one of them came from Peru during a snowstorm. So he hadn't
Oh
seen
yeah.
snow in his life, and it was the first time he'd seen that amount of snow. There was like 6 foot of snow, 6 feet of snow. So can you imagine that when you live in a country like Peru, you come to Quebec, you have the snow, you have the language,
And
you have to
and
adapt to
and
the
he had
company
three three
culture.
three child. Yeah,
Three
and he had 3
chance,
children.
yes.
Yeah, that's a big
So that's
jump.
a
Yeah,
lot.
totally.
That's a lot. So that's why we say, let's do things in the right order. Adapt to the company, get to know the way we work, get to know the people, and then when you are ready, when the administrative part is done, then you come. But don't do
Yeah.
everything at the same time. You can do it, but it's your choice. We say things have to be no, not necessary in the meantime, but sequentially. So that's why we say start abroad, and it's like a couple. It's not when you meet someone from the first time that you right away. It may work. I'm not judging, but it's not right away that you move with the person. So we say we get to know each other, and
Yeah.
then after a certain amount of
Yeah.
time, we move in. That's the same.
Yeah.
That's
And
totally.
I brain you offered us the point where it's easier to make that process. We have our temp to perm proposition with each other. So when we are in a situation where the person we have interested in and the person is okay, and the person wants to go and to come in Quebec, it's possible.
Yes.
The person of the choice, and
Yeah.
that's great. This is the part where you just said Promutuel is a Quebec company in Canada, and we have just have our 170th birthday last year's. So in the end, it's very important to keep up with our roots, and to work with offshore. It's great, it's perfect. But when we are in a situation where the person he, wants to come in Quebec, for sure, it's within the values of the company. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
this is
Yes.
the approach that we like so far. It's to have the liberty of choice.
Yes, and we need to say that those folks that you chosen, and this is not just for iBrain or Promutuel. This is like there's a lot of companies recruiting abroad and bringing people to Quebec. I mean, we've been seeing for the last 10 years, and you know, Sébastien, you're proof, you know, of this wave of people that are interested in the quality of life that we offer in Quebec, you know, with all the advantages. Okay, snow is maybe for some people a little bit harsh. I would say for my wife is a no-go, but she's from Rio. But to have, let's say, this developer Jose, that with his 3 children, is a life it's a life changer. You know, it changed totally their life. And what's is fundamental because of this culture, François, that Promutuel Insurance has, is that from day one, they accept to learn French. You know, they have been learning French since last year, and they've been participating in French meetings, French Scrum, and this, I mean, the person needs to have the willingness, you know. It's not just to choose, it's not just to onboard, but the person that decides, I mean, we need to be, we need to well inform him that there will be some obligations of, in this case, French is one of them. And then they arrive in Quebec, and they have this, the Quebec government offer this integration that is more intense in the French, let's say, it's an obligation. So they need to have a test to a certain point to show that they have done their homework. So all of those elements, I think I had given you some reason to do it, but are there other benefits of this mixed model that you could share with us?
The main benefit for us, for sure, is to overcome the talent shortage that we face in Quebec. Even if we have a financial crisis right now, and that is in our borders, we still have the shortage of talents, and this
Yeah.
cannot be faced with one solution, but a lot of solution, and to go seek other personnel from offshore, like we are doing right now. It's one of the solution that is very promising, and the main benefit there is mostly this parts. And we talk about the Guidewire certifications, and it's hard to find the talent in Quebec that have the experience with the Guidewire and the certification. Normally, they have experience in coding, and uh, we have to form them, to train them with the insurance platform. And there's still also the French and English that we just talked about too. And there's an aspect
Yeah.
also of cost efficiency, but it's a second parts. The main one is mainly the lack of talent base.
Perfect. Great. So, Sébastien and François, thank you very much for your participation in this second panel. It was very rich into the expertise and experience that you face. It was a pleasure to have you here. Sébastien, see you at the, and François, Sébastien and François, see you at the third panel in 15 minutes. So see you later. So
Thank you very
folks
much.
that are, you're welcome.